Hi guys, this is Advocates the podcast junior segment, and today we have from the UK Audrey Cherryl Mogan. She's from Garden Court Chambers, and she's a criminal defense and human rights lawyer. Audrey, we have 7 minutes on the clock, and I think we can start now.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle.
Okay, Audrey, first question: why choose advocacy?
I would say, I think my job is the best job in the world. I'm a criminal defense barrister, so basically everything, almost everything I do is oral advocacy. I'm a jury trial lawyer. Um, I think if you asked anybody I knew, they'd probably say it's just because I like the sound of my own voice. Yeah. Uh, It's also because I think it's one of those kind of jobs where, the other day my dad came to watch a trial that I was doing.
Oh,
It was an interesting trial. It was a protest against the destruction of the Brazilian rainforest. So it was a protest at the Brazilian embassy, and they'd been charged with criminal damage. So it's very and the killing of the indigenous people there. And my dad came to watch just as a member of public, as member of public are able to do. And it's a great job. It's the kind of job that people like to watch. It's why TV and TV shows are
right.
good. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Second question. The best lesson you've learned from someone leading you.
Um, I'd say I've done a lot of cases with more senior barristers. Again, a lot of protest cases, and I've only done one case where someone was leading me, and that was in a trafficking case. But that didn't actually go much further than written advocacy. But from all of those excellent, amazing barristers at Garden Court, it was really the idea of the power of a good written skeleton argument, even as a criminal barrister who I think sometimes there's this focus on our oral advocacy. The idea of a powerful written skeleton means that you kind of get two bites at the cherry because you've got this persuasive written argument, and then an oral argument to back that up. And you've got this kind of place where everything is succinctly and clearly written down. So I think kind of, and that leads to the biggest point, which is basically being prepared. It's not all off the cuff, and yeah.
Well, okay. Thank you. All right. Audrey, if someone who's leading you asked one of those people you say, you've worked with, what could I do better to make you learn? What would you say to them?
You know, uh, this is it's a hard question. Thinking about it, sorry, I think the people that I have worked with have done so well to kind of include me in their kind of thought process. And again, like it kind of flows from the previous answer, I always appreciate, constructive criticism, but also being able to see how other people do things. And I think, and how they think, and talking me through why they've decided this strategy over the other. So I don't know if it's something they could do better, but it's definitely something that more senior members of my chambers, when I've worked with them, have done. And it's been incredibly useful. Yeah.
Right. Sure. Okay. To the people behind you on the road, 3 pieces of advice for them. What are these?
The first I'd say is be patient. I feel like I'm one of those people that is always looking for the next thing. And sometimes it's difficult to forget to enjoy where you are because it's gone so soon. Just think about, and that's so relevant to milestones at the bar, where your first, actually my head of chambers, when I had an appeal against conviction that was refused on the papers, but I kept fighting, and then in fact I got leave to appeal by the full court, and it was successful, and they overturned the conviction. And I remember, because this job is just so things change so quickly. My head of chambers, or my former head of chambers, basically said to me, like, take this in, sit here, enjoy this, celebrate this, because this moment is such a big moment. And so kind of, instead of me always, that's just how my brain works. Okay, what's the next thing to get onto? So that kind of, the second thing is probably like and it kind of comes from that as well. It's about being grateful and thankful to whatever you or whomever you believe in. Because I mean, especially if you're standing behind me in this country, then despite all of the things that are problematic, you still are in a country with free healthcare for most people. You're in a country that has access to education for women and girls. There's just so being thankful and grateful. And then probably my last thing is just to watch out, because I never really walk in a straight line.
Okay, Audrey. Okay, what's the worst thing about being a junior at the bar?
I think it's the difficulties in planning your life. I mean, I'm so lucky now. I am a tenant at an excellent chambers, and so it's a bit different. But actually, I was having dinner with a friend who's doing pupillage right now, and almost gave me like PTSD, kind of thinking about it. Which experience. I've had to miss a wedding. I've had to miss a close friend's wedding when I was in pupillage, because there was just no one to cover Saturday court. She's just talking to me about kind of some of the micromanaging she's going through, and I think it's difficult, because you just think, especially for pupils, and I have so much respect for them. Ever want to be in that position ever again. But yeah, and I think so that during pupillage and training, it's really, really difficult, because the demands are just everywhere, and kind of also doing Saturday court and all that kind of stuff. And you get your papers, especially if you're a pupil in criminal defense, you get your papers for a trial the next day, the night of. And so it's, you're just on the whole day, and it's, no rest.
Okay. Audrey, I'm sorry, I have to jump in and stop you there, because our time is up.
I'm sorry.
No. Actually, okay, since you're the last of our juniors, so I think we'll make some, cut some leeway for you. I'll just have one more question, and Audrey, I think this is for. This is always a fun question. What's the biggest misconception that lay people have of the bar now that you're in it? And maybe, a couple lines. What do they think happens?
It's funny, because I was literally having this conversation with my hairdresser the other day, and the first thing people always ask, especially because I'm a criminal barrister, is how do you defend someone who's guilty? How do you defend someone that is guilty? And it's a really big misconception that that we know these things and we're playing all these tricks, and it's not really about that. We're not allowed to lie to the court, and we're not allowed.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, my dogs were barking.
It's fine. They just want to be
Yes. Thank you so much for your time, Audrey. Thank you. It was brilliant having you here.